Go outside. Go down the steps, Kaylee. Down, down, down. Good girl. Careful, careful, Kaylee. Careful. Kaylee. Stay with mommy. Welcome back to my channel again. So as you can see, today we're on the road, all of us. Kaylee, she's napping. Got my phone on the charger here. But yeah, we're gonna go pick up our meat from the butcher, our deer meat, and just ride with Eli as he does his work today. So he uses his vehicle for work, so we can ride with him. So yeah, come along. We're gonna be going through a lot of Amish Mennonite territory. So yeah, just enjoy the ride with us. Okay, so it's now the next day. We're back home again. The children are napping. My husband Eli J is home today, so he's laying down with our son Randall. Kaylee's back here. She's in her swing. So while everybody's down and the house is still, I'm going to mix up. I'm going to be mixing up an Appalachian brownie fudge pie. I think it's fancy name for Mississippi mud. We made it a lot at home, but yeah, it's just something I'm hungry again for. So something that I can bake in the oven while everybody's napping. So yeah, let's just get back into cooking. Oh, if I'm talking, she's probably gonna get awake, but that's okay. She's been sleeping for a while now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that scenery. That's some beautiful scenery, going through Amish country like that. All those farms, the cows, windmills. I think it's lovely. Back where we live, we don't see as much of Amish or farms, but yeah, when we get out towards Lancaster more, it's just something that we see more of, and I just never get tired of that scenery. It's so homey. But yeah, let's get on with our bacon, and later on we're going to be frying up some pork chops to make stuffed pork chops for supper. So yeah, big afternoon, but that's okay. So these brownies are supposed to turn out like a pie. I'm supposed to put it in a pie pan. So I'm going to be using my famous one. You've seen it on here many times before. But yeah, it was actually a wedding gift I got. So it's pretty special to me. It came from some very special people. So yeah, I'm just gonna set this to the side. Set that to the side and mix up the brownie part. We have to mix up the brownie part before we put like the marshmallows and the chocolate on top. That can't bake with the brownies. So that's what I'll be working at. Just mixing up the bottom part, then we have to bake it. I keep my flour in here. If you ever wonder what's in there, it's just full of flour. I like to put it in here because then like if bugs come, we had a big bug problem about a year ago, and I just kind of stuck all my stuff in containers like this. Stuff I used a lot, stuff that came in bags. I just got into the habit of putting it into containers. Yes, this cupboard is over full. Someday I need to take the time just to clean it out. But yeah, about a year ago we had a bad bug problem, and just got used to putting my things in containers. And I like it so well, more than a bag, because the flour bags in my house tend to get holes in for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm kind of hungry for oatmeal again, but I never get around to making it. Like baked oatmeal or M&M's or chocolate chips for breakfast. For some reason that's something I just hardly ever make. But the children love baked oatmeal. I should just make it again someday. So these brownies, on Pinterest I found them. Instead of like putting it into a 9x13 pan, you're supposed to put it into a pie plate. And it's called Appalachian Fudge. Appalachian Fudge Brownie Pie. I never heard of that. But it's the same exact thing as like Mississippi mud. I told you that earlier. I don't know why I'm telling you it again. It's just funny. You would never believe what I have to tell you next. But it's true. The recipe calls for 2 large free-range eggs. We don't have chickens here because we're not allowed. We are on a rental property and we can't have chickens. Well, we can have like 4 chickens, but we don't. There's hardly any room here. Dogs, we're not allowed dogs, just cats. We're allowed cats. But it calls for these free-range eggs. Can you believe it? Would you believe it if I told you that yesterday an Amish lady gave Eli J 2 dozen of free-range eggs? She has chickens running around on their property. Would you believe it if I told you we got that dozen yesterday? 2 dozen free-range eggs. I think it's so funny that I have those exact kind of eggs. Large eggs, I have them. They came from an Amish lady, and I think she has the chickens on her property. Either her or one of the neighbors. They keep them. What they do is they keep a fridge there on the property, just outside, usually beside a barn or in a shed. Then they have a sign, handwritten sign that says eggs inside, $2.50 a dozen. And you just help yourself, and then they have like the money container that you, if you need change or anything. But yeah, she just gave 2 dozen to Eli J yesterday. We could just go pick which ones we wanted, she said. But I just got a kick out of it today. Of all days, I don't hardly ever have these eggs. They're my favorite, the free range, fresh. But yeah, I just get a kick out of it. I didn't even know that the recipe called for these. The other kind would work too, I'm sure. It's just funny that I have this kind on this exact day that I decided I'm gonna make these brownies. Now the recipe calls for toasted pecans. I actually don't have very many left. I usually get them free from my brother that lives in Georgia. His wife usually gives me some. But I'm almost out, and it doesn't appear that we're going to be going to Georgia very soon, which I can. It's very hard for me to stay away from Georgia, but yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get down there very soon. Hopefully next spring we will. So I'm going to use these cashews until I get down to Georgia. Because cashews are a lot cheaper down up here than pecans. Don't laugh, but I'm gonna bind them with my rolling pin. I don't have like a nut binder. My mom did, but I don't have one of them. So this is how I usually do it. But I normally put them in a bag to do it, but today I don't feel like reaching in the cupboard to get a bag. So, and I just really sanitized my counter, so I feel okay with eating them upon the counter. I still can't get over the funny name this is. Like, who would come up with Appalachian Fudge brownie pie? It's an interesting name, but I heard we called it Mississippi Mud. And then we usually put them in a 9x13 pan, not a pie pan. Not a pie pan. My mom would say, oh, a pie of Mississippi mud, a pie slice is way too much. She usually called her pies. They're not that big of pieces, and you know pies are usually this long. Pie pieces are usually that long. I just get a kick out of it, that's all. But I'm gonna do it the way the recipe says, because I find if I make too many changes, as you probably already know if you follow my channel, I'm not a good baker. It's best if I follow the directions to the T. Okay, so I just washed a bunch of dishes. I only washed one of my beaters. The other one was in the put away. It was clean. I can't find it. It's in that mound of dishes somewhere. So I'm just gonna beat this up with one beater. It looks hilarious. We'll see how it does. turned out beautiful. Even with the handicap, it still got the job done. Okay, now I have to bake this for, how long does it say? 25 to 30 minutes I have to bake it. And then we have to put the marshmallows on top while it's still hot and then put it right back into the oven. My Appalachian fudge brownie pie. Okay. See how it turns out. Oh, scared. Pie's done. Now I have to put my marshmallows on while it's still hot and then bake it a little to melt those marshmallows. So that's what I'll be working at now. Okay, if you watched my last video, you won't laugh when you see me put this on a pizza dish. The last video, we had a humongous chocolate mess on this kitchen table. So, just in case chocolate spills, I'm putting it on my pizza dish again.